Coming up on Now You Made It Awkward podcast.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy body full of tats.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get rolling. And we're going to try to keep on topic. I mean, if we randomly start talking about other things, that'll be fine, as long as we don't end up starting to talk about violent revolution or whatever right off the bat like we did at the last episode. So I like Tim. I like Tim a lot.
Oh, okay.
We didn't get anywhere on any topic from the get-go. Like, you won't see it. So anybody watching this in the future, if you saw the and Tim episode last week, we mentioned that there's stuff that I had to cut out. 45 minutes of conversation before we got to the intro.
Wow.
Yes. So that will be on the clips channel later. As a wholly separate clip, because it derailed so fast and we never bothered to go back to a rail. Like, that's the thing. Is like we just went with it and it was fine. We had a really, really good long conversation about morals versus, or being morally right versus legally right, that kind of stuff like that, because a lot of times you think that, yay, I'm doing the moral thing. It's clearly the right thing to do, except that a lot of morally right actions are also crimes for the most part.
Cutting down flock cameras.
Cutting down flock cameras, or worse. There were other things that were mentioned that I had to edit out. You know me, I don't tend to edit a lot, but when there's certain things are said, I'm like, nope. Put a coaster under that, sir. Yeah, one right there.
Yeah. You have coasters now, too.
They've been here.
Have they?
For like a year and a half.
Well, black on
the whole
black.
time you've been here, the coasters have been here. Yeah, well, maybe you just never realized it because you've been in third seat most of the time.
That is true.
Yeah,
there's a coaster there too.
Yeah, that's Chad's coaster.
I'm just a bad person.
Well, you don't tend to drink that much in here.
Morally
bad. Yes, but we talked about that. We talked about a sense of a bit more manliness kind of situation. We talked about people who are smarter than other people and how they apply themselves, or how they dumb themselves down, or how they're perceived, that maybe because they're super smart but they don't do anything with it, they're perceived as something lower. It was a lot of conversation that had nothing to do with any news topics at all that we were going to talk about. So it was a very good episode, honestly. You know, I don't mind doing episodes like that. It was just literally, by the time after setup, conversation, it was 52 minutes before I actually got the intro done. And then we went for another almost 2 hours after that. So we hit like 2 hours and like 46 minutes or something. Longest episode we've done in a while that wasn't absurd.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was just me and Tim. Yeah. So that boy can talk.
Good.
Yep.
And then you have me.
Yes.
I'm just maybe one level above Chad.
You're Chad plus.
Chad plus.
Well, the difference is that if we get you on a topic, much like Chad, we get him on a topic, what he wants to talk about, he can talk.
Mm-hmm.
So, next time, just come in with different things. We are going to talk about grief and stuff like that too here in a minute, because, fun times yesterday with having a funeral.
Yeah.
Always good. But let's go ahead and get rolling, because we are starting very late in the day. All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Now You Made It Awkward podcast, episode 198. We're only one episode away from episode 200, which this is just a weekly reminder of me needing to get it done. So if you guys don't see episode 200 immediately after episode 199, I got too busy to get things done. Either way, so I am Shoki. You can follow me on all Shoki-related links down below. Shoki Review, Shoki Reviews 2, or it doesn't have to make sense, live stream channel, which I have not been streaming on very much because, well, YouTube copyrights are a pain in my dick, and I hate it. I hate it a lot. I enjoy sitting down, talking, and reacting to things, but the YouTube system is basically going to guarantee I will never make a dime doing it. So I'm doing it just for...
I'll make a dime now anyway.
Nope. I can make boxes of merch and can't make a dime. Is what it is. Anyway, guys, episode 200 merch. You want some? I got plenty. Speaking of which, I got to go back to Mad Llama and give Steven his shirt because he bought one before we left. Anyway, I forgot.
You still didn't give it to him?
Well, I haven't been back yet.
Well, the good thing, episode 200 technically didn't start yet.
Oh, that's fair. It's
So
fair.
you're good.
And
good.
part 2 is actually where I have to give him this.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, either way. So, guys, of course, if you want to help support this channel and get the full uncut video versions of the podcast, where I usually leave in the 45 minutes of extra conversation at the beginning of a podcast, you can go over and check out the Patreon. For as little as $5 a month, you can support just this show, but you can also do the different tiers. You can see the vlogs. You can be there for our live chats we do 3 times a month, our trivia nights, which are usually a lot of fun. But come over there, please. Just help support things. Because I can't seem to sell merch. But also, if you do want to buy other kinds of merch, we do have a merch store linked down below. You can see it here on the screen. We got posters, t-shirts, mugs, all kinds of stuff, usually based on the dumb things said on this show. Even Kevin over here has a poster of himself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I need to get one. So
And you'll probably charge me for it.
yeah, you should buy one. Yes.
You should buy one.
Yes, definitely.
I'll put it in the bedroom.
Yeah, because
for Grace to look at.
it costs me a lot of money to get. I was like, I don't get my own merch for free. So I had to wait for my own posters, which are right there, to get printed from Teespring. They need to work on whoever their contract is for printing posters. Because me and Jefe both took like a month. It's crazy. Either way, so after the merch store, you can do all that stuff. But guys, if you want to contact the show, you can do so at NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail@gmail.com. You can go follow us on the Instagram at Nymea_pod. And you can also go hit us up on the Facebook at Now You Made It Awkward Podcast. And we gained a bunch of followers from the James episode, which is our current most watched episode. Because I think we had, last I looked, was like 300 views.
Wow.
But that doesn't mean people watch the whole thing. I bet the average view is probably 12 minutes, probably watching the first 15, 20 minutes or so. And one thing people don't seem to ever understand is that when you watch a thing and you click away and then you come back, that counts as a new view, but kills the view duration. So if you pause and leave it up, that counts as a singular view, but also slows down the views themselves. So if somebody keeps coming back to it over and over again, those numbers get dumb. Either way, so guys, once again, I don't have my normal co-host with me. We don't have the Jefe. He's still on break, trying to get things a little bit more straight. And Chad is still trying to recover from his printer failure and doing his best to keep things going over there at C4 Graphics. So that's not his fault. It's just things like that. We make fun of Chad for not being here for like weeks on end. But in this case, comes back from vacation, a catastrophic failure of equipment. So can't blame him for needing to prioritize. But I already had our guest today in the can for it. And we have other Kevin.
Hello.
Cleanly shaven.
Yes. Glad to be back. I'm probably 5th, 6th, 7th on the depth chart. But, when you get that low.
Well, no.
I'll still try to hit a home run.
So the batter lineup. Yeah. So technically speaking, you're directly under Tim, so that would put you 4th.
Okay.
Yeah, and because almost nobody else I can call on a reasonable amount of time. Like we talked about it last week, so it's not like I hit you up again today and said, "Hey, buddy, can you fill in?" I just hit you up earlier to remind you because I know that there are goldfish that remember things better.
Yes.
But to be fair, you change time zones so damn much for work. It's hard to keep track of anything.
Yeah, it's a little difficult.
And kids' schools.
And kids.
Yeah, your kids jumping all over the damn country.
Yes. And their problems.
That too. Stupid kids always having problems with things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, talk about time zones. My daughter was supposed to talk to a mentor of hers, and she's up in Pacific Northwest, and the mentor is on the East Coast, and she kind of reversed the 3-hour difference. So instead of thinking 3 hours ahead, she was like thinking it was 3 hours behind. So she's texting, I'm like, aren't you supposed to be on the call? She's like, yeah, I'm gonna be on a call later. I'm like, okay.
You mean now? You mean right now is when you're supposed to be on it? Not 3 hours from now?
She's like, what do you mean? Like,
and you're in the central, so you're off by 2. You're off by in both directions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Because when this show first started, we had people across the country. We had East Coasters, we had Canadians who were an hour back, and then occasionally we'd get some West Coast people on. And even before this, I had a podcast, the old Shoki Nerdcast. I had people on the East Coast, I had people on the West Coast, and I had a guy in Japan. and I had to synchronize one podcast between all of us.
Yes.
I think it started at like 9 p.m. because it was the only time he could get on, which was morning for him, So, yeah, it was crazy. Time zones are dumb.
Yeah, Apple World Clock, really good.
It's fair. That's very fair. Only if you read it, though.
Yeah, it's true.
If you don't actually look at it, it doesn't matter. Much like your.
Now, is Trump gonna get rid of time zones? Not time zones. Daylight savings.
So I've heard that Congress or whoever is looking to get rid of daylight savings time. It's honestly been on the books for way too long, because it made sense when farmers had to do things by certain times. Now they don't have to. They made that up when tractors didn't have headlights.
Yes.
And you didn't have computer controls. You didn't have auto settings. You didn't have all these other things. So daylight savings time has never kept up with technology advancing or anything else like that. I think the other part is that normies want their daylight to make more sense. The only thing we've not done in modern day that we know of is see what happens if you don't reset it.
Mm-hmm.
But in theory, with the rotation of the Earth, the position in the things, it should always come back. Like, it should always, there should be a variance. It's not like we'll just infinitely get darker or lighter throughout the day,
What was it? Arizona and Indiana don't have daylight savings?
There's a couple places that don't do it.
They're surviving. They haven't melted down or anything.
No, not that we know of. I mean, Arizona's very hot and dry. Kind of dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And they clearly don't know how to vote for anything, so maybe they need daylight savings.
Just
let's institute it there and take it away everywhere else.
There you go.
Yeah, it's like, no, you guys get to be in the dark at 5 p.m. now. Which, given what I do, or used to do, I should say, I hated when we switched and it got dark earlier, because I hated working in the dark. I worked when I delivered pizza, I was working all night long.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed summertime where we had daylight till almost 9 p.m., or later. So that was great, not having to use your headlights as much, or, I don't have the best vision in the world. Night vision has always been bad for me. So it's not like I'm blind. It's just not great. But all day long, I can go without my glasses and just get by, But if I gotta put my glasses on, it's a bad day.
Yeah.
I'd rather start my day in the dark and work into the light rather than the other way around. Speak of the devil. The daylight savings devil.
Yes.
All right. Either way. So, guys, if you guys want to ever reach out to the show and send in messages, you can do so over on the Facebook, as I already mentioned, like our good friend Tyler, who did send in a very, very short message, so I'm not entirely certain what it is, or rather if it has anything to do with a comment. I don't know exactly what it is. It's 8 seconds long, so it's not like a full Tyler message. So I'm not entirely certain what it is, but we'll see. And then Sean hasn't sent in a message in quite some time. We haven't heard from him, but, I talk to him all the time. So he just doesn't think about it. So let's see what Tyler's got for us. I'm going to adjust my volume accordingly. I forgot I'm not connected. Good thing I checked. So just some behind the scenes stuff here. Whenever I fire up the computer, my soundboard down below automatically turns on, which automatically turns on the Bluetooth connection. So if I'm watching a video on my phone, when I come in here, it will automatically connect and then suddenly start coming through the headphones, which are generally not on my ears when I sit down. So, and the funny part is, you can tell when my computer is doing a spy cycle, like whenever it's just turning on to spy on me, because all of a sudden, other end of the house, I've got no audio. And I got to turn it off. I was like, stupid fucking Microsoft spying on me. Okay, so let's see what Mr. Tyler has to say in this very short message.
You guys had your recent Flockcast episode, we can call it, talking about the social credit.
Yep. He didn't get that message out. I'm messaging him back. That is funny. That is funny. So yeah, we did have a whole episode about flock cameras. It was actually really well regarded, apparently.
Yeah. The day after, the AG actually took his side.
Yeah, took the side with having that the city has to show the contract.
Yeah.
Yay.
Didn't seem like that was a hard choice.
No, but it shouldn't take them. They're also not going by the rules saying that they have 10 days to reply, and then 115 days later, they haven't done anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I'm just going to wait on Tyler to see if he actually responds to that. He might know. I'm going to make sure I send him a message. Hold on, wait. Let me embarrass him ever so slightly here. Hey, bud. You know that message you sent on Monday was only 8 seconds long, and you never actually finished it? The flock question you sent in? Do you want to? We're recording right now. If you want to actually finish that message, I should start having him call in.
Yeah.
Like if we're ever doing a show, whenever we've done a call in show before. It was difficult, just friends basically. But and then even actually you were there 151 when we did it. I had Sean call in to do a section.
Yeah,
I considered doing that for 200, but that would have been so much fucking chaos. Episode 200 part 2, which was the other thing I wanted to talk about last week. We never got around to it. So you were there as well. You and your lovely wife were helping host and do functions for the show. I can't tell, like, show wise it was less chaotic. Everything else wise it was more chaotic. Like we were on it for like the actual performance of the show. Like we were on time. Even with the audio problems that you helped me, try to take care of. Not your fault. It's their fault, but it is what it is. Working with crappy equipment that wasn't made to be used that way. We did what we could. It was bad. You'll see it on the video when we eventually get there. But, like having, since you're on the outside of it, I'm on the inside of it. Like, what was your experience doing those 2 live shows with us, especially considering you got thrust into the Chad role?
Yes. I think the first part 1 at Frankenbolts, it was definitely we're closer with the audience and more audience interaction.
Yeah.
So it was just definitely a different vibe there. For Mad Llama, 2 things. I guess we're up in a loft, so we're isolated from the audience, and the World Cup was going on. So no one really cared what we were saying because
game.
Especially not only the World Cup, like one of the bigger matches.
Yeah, one of the biggest
England
matches.
against Norway, which actually I was watching most of the time. So every time for those watching, when my head was turned,
we were all looking to the left.
Looking at Tim. It wasn't like I really loved Tim and kept wanting to look at Tim. The TV screen was on against the wall. So
and honestly, to be fair, I realized after the fact, like literally I'm on my way home with Jessica and I'm like, this is going to be a really crappy podcast to watch. She's like, why? I was like, because there was nobody in front of us to talk to. Like there was no audience. There wasn't other people. We're all looking this way because we're talking to Grace and Tasha. And then when the Mad Llama guys came up to help us out in the last few rounds, we're looking at them. So the whole podcast is just our right profiles the whole time. And then I'm actually looking forward to, well, not necessarily looking forward to, but I want to, because obviously I haven't even cracked that footage yet. I'm not even offloading it until I'm done with part 1. But I need to see when Jefe went wrong. Because we didn't get a chance to talk about it here on the show yet. Like, Jefe had a bit of a medical episode. We're not entirely certain exactly what happened. And we haven't been back on the show mainly to talk about it. But he had a medical episode and he ended up leaving right after Pokemon or Prescription. So the 3rd round, meaning he was gone for the last 2 hours of the show. Actually, not even 2 hours because the last one's kind of went quickly. And he just literally, like, I looked over at him after we finished that section, and he had just 1,000-yard stare. And I'm like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "No." And I'm like, "Okay, what's wrong?" He's like, "Feeling really dizzy and nauseous." I was like, "Do you need to go throw up or something?" He's like, "No, I think I need to go home." I was like, right now?" He's like, "Yeah." And, like, he literally, like, I got out of his way because we were getting up from the table. He literally grabbed his go bag and left. Didn't say anything to anybody other than me, as far as I know.
Yeah, because I went down and get a beer, and I came up, and
he was gone. Yeah,
he was gone, and the other guy filled in.
Yeah, I fetched Ed. Luckily, the game was over at that point, so Ed was available.
Yes.
And I was like, "Hey, man, Jefe just bailed. He had a problem, so I know for a fact he was having issues the day before, and he was arguing with me on things he shouldn't be arguing with. I was so focused on the day, I didn't notice that he was struggling otherwise during setup. Like, I knew he was being argumentative for no reason, which didn't make any sense. But the fact that he, like, was very spacey and struggling with simple tasks. Now, I know his sleep schedule was wonky. He normally wouldn't have worked that morning.
Didn't you knock out 3 episodes in 1 week?
And then 3 podcasts in 1 week, which I mentioned last week with Tim, because we did Tuesday, Thursday, and then we did the live show. Okay. Now, mind you, to be fair with his complaint, he has an offset schedule to mine, but I also worked every day. I also did the podcast, including editing, and I also did all the rest of the work for setup, plus loading everything up and all this other stuff, even though, Tim, Natasha helped. And then you guys helped close down everything at the end because I had no more help. Because Tim and Tasha had to go because they had a bunch of kids at their house and they needed to get home.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had like 20 teenagers over there to watch UFC fight. So they had to go. And Jessica wasn't going to be able to help me. And I mean, like, Steven and those guys would have helped. That wouldn't, I know they would have, but like the packing up and stuff, that was going to take so long that I even told, I told Jamie and Michelle, they offered to help. And I said, it's going to take me longer to tell you how to do the thing than for me to actually just do it. So you guys can go ahead and go. That's fine. If I need any extra help, I've still got, a couple of people.
There's a lot of wires to wind and
yep. And like
putting things in cases have to be exact.
And we got so much practice with our old church.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh, okay, I can do all this. I know how to wind up all my cords. I know how to make things fit. And, having new places to put things. We have less stuff to bring home, all this other things. And, we got it done. And don't get me wrong, we had fun. But it was, like I said, the show itself was fine. With almost no chaos outside of fun chaos. Everything around the show was so much chaos. Like it was so much chaos. Like from the get-go, things were going wrong, and I just had to hold it together and get through the day.
A lot of it was external speakers in both places.
Yes, and that was in future. I love this. This is one thing I mentioned is like that Steven wants us to come back and do another show that way. And be like, well, we won't do it that way. And we definitely won't do it during a sporting event. Although maybe February next year would be a good, second Sunday of February, probably be a good day to do it, It's like, hey, how's February looking? I'll come back in February to do another live show.
I think I like the questions.
Yeah.
But when we had to kind of speed yes or no's just to get through it.
Actually, I thought that was fun because like making people think on their feet. But we also did a speed round at Frankenbolt's. As I'm going through the edit, they're like, oh yeah, we did do a speed round. Well, we were going so slow through the One Goes Away Forever that we sped through like the last 10 as quick as we could. So like we were doing what we could. And also I'll put it to you this way. I haven't even got to the offenders round yet.
Oh wow!
I'm in the third section. I just lined up the third section. I'm having editing hell.
So what's the audience looking at? 3 hours for each?
Oh, more than that.
Okay.
We're at 4 hours recording time. At Mad Llama, we were at just under 4 hours recording time, and we didn't take that many breaks. So that'll trim down to 3.5 easy. There was no offenders there, so we didn't have an extended the Frankenbolt's one. That's gonna be 4.5 hours.
So you got to put intermission.
Oh, I do. I have intermissions.
Okay.
I forgot. I know how to do the thing.
Because now I'm nervous because with the YouTube, if I pause it and stuff.
I mean, the thing is like if you watch a 45-minute section and then take a pee break.
I'm going to have to take a pee break. Take a popcorn.
Just like in the go get some pizza.
Yeah.
Like I've got you and Tim eating pizza.
I have to send the clip to my agent in case I want to do this full time.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
this where we make no money.
No
money, and nobody cares.
Maybe he'll make any money.
Well, I think we're up to 20 people now. We were at 17. I think we're up to 20 people watching now. Hi, 20 people. And if you guys are watching this and you're one of the 20, comment, I am one of the 20. Nothing else. Just I am one of the 20. And it can't be me or him because that'd be, technically you were watching before you came on the show.
Yeah.
But you were a friend, so that's a different story.
I'm sorry.
Why?
And Grace watches.
So you listen, but does Grace watch?
She usually, as soon as you drop it, She usually watches it and then starts telling me about it. I'm like, well, I can get to it because I usually watch
She spoils the podcast. She spoils
the podcast because she'll listen to it on Friday.
Yeah.
I like to listen to your podcast in my hammock out in the backyard on Saturday.
Yeah.
With a nice brew and,
it's a good time to do it.
Enjoying it.
Yeah. Well, you'll have an interesting one this week with Tim.
Yeah.
Tim, talk of revolution and fighting the AI the hard way. That's really what it turns into. But yeah, guys, so like we didn't get a chance to, because Tim and I really just went into every crazy direction. We wanted to do a little bit more regular show this time. Not that I'm against anything else like that, but completely unplanned conversation that went really well. Are you choking on water? That's some rough ass water.
God.
Oh wait, I think. Oh, Tyler did send a message. Okay, hold on. I must find alcohol. That's funny. Okay. What? Hold on. Oh, okay. Yeah. What the fuck? I sent that message like a minute 13. What did Facebook do? So yeah, clearly it didn't do it right. All right. So Tyler sent in a very long message.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So this one is 126. That's funny. How did he not notice that it was only 8 seconds the first time? If he was talking for like a minute 13, how did he not notice it only went across as 8?
Yeah.
Now, I know a lot of times, speaking of which, I was about to react to things. One thing that Sean and I have noticed on a lot of the phones, the auto rotate will kill a message. So if you're recording a message and you turn your phone, it might kill it. Some of the newer or the updated version of Facebook has gotten rid of that. So now it just comes down to whether or not you're holding the button or you press the button. Because some people are holding it and then they let off. And then some people, press it and then come back. It's silly, but that's what it does. Oh, and I found out earlier today because I was talking with friend Tim K. Different Tim. German Tim. Because he lost his parents in a surprisingly similar manner. Like his dad had so many very similar things at a younger age. So we were talking about that earlier. But I found out that on the computer, the length of voice message you can send is only 3 minutes.
Oh.
But on the phone, it's 10 minutes.
Okay.
Don't know why. All right. Now we'll see what Tyler says before we get to the rest of the show.
Apparently, Facebook did not like my last message. I don't know what was wrong with it. All they did was talk about how I was going to...
Yep.
No. But I just basically said the Flockcast episode. In short, it made me think about... I don't know, something about like the social credit stuff, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And how, I don't think that the American credit system is like super great because it has like stupid stuff where it's like, oh, you don't have any loans. You must be terrible. Or, oh, you've paid off all your loans. You're terrible.
You're also terrible.
Borrow money. But I remember like when the Chinese social credit stuff was coming out, people were like, oh no, America already has one. It's called the credit score system. It's the exact same thing. It's like, no,
it's not.
The credit score one is based off of, repaying credit at least. Whereas, like, I remember the Chinese, like, social credit score, whatever thing was, like, somewhere within, like, a month of them releasing it. There was some guy who criticized the president God King of China in his blog.
Yes.
And his kids, I think, like, got kicked out of their school and sent to a crappy one. He lost his job and he, like, lost access to, like, almost all public transportation. Yep. Not quite the same. No. Yeah. I don't remember my message now, but apparently Facebook really did not want me to talk about this. Oh, no. The end.
There we go. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for the end. So, yeah, no, he was talking about Flock, and Flock came after him. That's what it was. No, the Chinese credit score system literally is like they downrank you in society. They will punish you. Like I mentioned, the very simple version, that this is a real thing that happened. A guy jaywalked. Just randomly across the street because it was a better spot to cross. The camera caught him doing it. Jaywalking's illegal. Because everything's linked, it went into his bank account, they issued a fine, deducted the fine directly from his bank account, and lowered his credit score number. All without him even knowing anything happened. Mm-hmm. So there's some security in it that you just like, well, I mean, whether I'm good or bad, they're going to do whatever they want to me, so I might as well just do what I want and see what happens. I mean, but sometimes you go to the gulag, so I mean, it's not really whatever. You can't talk to about President Xi about things like that.
No, that lowers your score real fast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even the Orville did a whole episode about this, effectively, where they discovered a planet that was very much similar to 20th century Earth or 21st century Earth, and they had a credit system. It was literally up and down arrows, and you voted people directly. They had direct democracy and on what to do about people. Your number dropped below a certain point, you got arrested and got sentenced to death, and then you had to plead your case on talk shows. And if you could get your number up within a certain amount of time, you would survive. Otherwise, they would lobotomize you.
Nice.
Yeah. It's literally Seth MacFarlane going, "Hey, China, we know what you're doing." Yep. And then it literally took hacking the system to do it. It even talked about how social media is used to falsely portray things so that you can get people to like or dislike whatever you want.
Right.
Because there were people who lived on social media. So, I mean, if you've never watched The Orville, you should. At least the first 3 seasons.
Okay.
4th season, they changed things up. You know how some of those shows, they just suddenly do a quick little rewrite and whatever. So the first 3 seasons are awesome. I mean, the whole, throughout the entire first season, there's an entire, underlying trans debate. Because the Mocklins are an all-male society. But then when Vortis's egg hatches and it's a female, it throws everything out the window. They're like, wait a minute, I thought you were male only. It's like, no, females are born, but then they're converted to being male.
Okay.
When they're babies.
Yeah.
So that they never know the females exist. So that's a really, really compelling episode of a silly comic or a silly comedy version of Star Trek. And then it continues. It's it's not just the one thing. They damn near have a civil war on Mocklus over the rights of females to exist.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. They literally, their version of the Federation, the Mocklins literally almost go to war with the Federation over this because they detransitioned, spoilers, they detransitioned the kid.
Well, that's what a certain political party was trying to do a few years ago.
Yeah, well.
Kind of eliminate women.
Yeah, they're still trying.
Yeah.
I mean, they put a man in to play they put a female who used shit. They put in a dude who used to not be a dude to be a dead dude in the Odyssey. So there's that.
Yeah.
Tiny dude. Dude, that was so fucking embarrassing. You put the entire lineup of the movie, and then just right in the fucking middle is Elliot Page. Itty bitty Elliot Page being a hero. Luckily, it was not Achilles like everybody thought, but it was some other person who was sort of relevant to the story. I have no intention to watch the movie. If I want to watch the Odyssey, I'll go watch the Odysseus movie or whatever it was called.
Well, it's probably going to be the most disappointing. I heard, if you just want entertainment movie, I heard it's decent.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking you're going to watch the Odyssey, you're not. That was the biggest. And that's where it'll probably throw me off and anger me.
You're watching the Odyssey TM.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Odyssey in name only. I mean, obviously the characters are there and a lot of the actual story is there, but then they modify a lot. I mean, it supposedly it's going to make some money, but it bombed its first weekend. Moana live action bombed so hard, they still haven't learned their lesson. It was rumored to be like a $200 million movie, and they made $48 million opening weekend.
Because nobody wants it. They never ask, does the audience actually want this?
No. They tell you what the audience... I said this before on this show. No. You want what we tell you to want.
Yeah. And then they lose money, and then they blame the audience for not wanting what they didn't want.
Eat the slop.
They don't want the slop.
Yeah, I like the old meme as well. It was they replaced 100% CGI movie with an 80% CGI movie. None of the backgrounds are real. Yeah. Some of the sets are real. The chicken isn't even real. And it's a horrible demonic version of Hey Hey. It's so bad. But I gotta wonder if they had Pua as, I think it was Pua, the pig. I think it was Pua. If they used a real pig or not. I haven't actually seen that part of the movie.
But they cast it all, what is it?
They're all Polynesian.
Polynesian?
Yeah.
Polynesian. Well, that was the thing. They all Polynesian, but for the Odyssey, no Greeks.
Don't talk about that.
Oh. Don't talk about that. But I like the Greeks.
Also, the fact they use some modern music.
Unless the Greeks can't act. Maybe that was the reason.
I'm pretty sure Greeks can act.
I did see My Big Fat Greek Wedding a long time ago.
Great movie. The second one,
Greeks
not so much.
There was Greeks in there.
So many Greeks.
So many Greeks.
So many Greeks.
So there are Greeks out there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they were all in that movie. Only that movie. Or maybe Mamma Mia. Or was that Italy?
That was Italy, I think.
Fuck, it's not Greece. Is it? I don't remember.
Well, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly had all Italians playing Mexican, so shut up, you can't.
Yeah, I mean, that's easy enough to fake. Okay. They're all brown.
Except for Clint Eastwood, somehow.
Yeah, I know.
I can see a documentary how he got in that.
What?
We got all the Italians, so we need one American guy.
Oh, yeah.
You no-name actor, play cowboy.
Yeah, and then become the biggest.
Yeah.
Country Western movie star. What was the word I'm looking for? Western. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, Clint Eastwood was dark as fuck, and the was it Fistful of Dollars trilogy? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So it's Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Fistful of Dollars, and was it The Man with No Name?
Yeah. I believe it's the other
one.
Hang 'em High?
No, I think it's Man with No Name.
Okay.
Because it was a trilogy.
Yeah.
They're connected, but they're not necessarily connected. But they are and they aren't. You know, that kind of stuff. Kind of like how What We Do in the Shadows is connected to the movie Seven.
Is it?
Supposedly. Somebody put it together. If they're in the movie, they're reading John Doe's diaries, like where he just writes his crazy musings.
Yeah.
And he writes about a guy who did something on a subway that made him throw up, and then he just kind of lost his mind. In some of the extra material on like the DVDs for What We Do in the Shadows, there's a whole what's his last name? First name's Colin. I can't remember it. But either way, he's the energy vampire, right?
Yeah.
If you'd never watched that show. I watched way too much of that show, and it was like It's Always Sunny, but without the sun. But you know, hilarious vampire mockumentary. It didn't make any sense. But either way, he is the guy who was on the train that made John Doe throw up on himself. If you read Colin's little diary entries.
Okay.
He's saying the other side of that. It's like, I did this and I messed with this guy and made him puke on himself and started laughing and all this other stuff. So, yeah, and that particular character has such a crazy arc in that show. Doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, he finds a way to start mass absorbing people's energy, and he starts evolving as a vampire.
Like Highlander?
Kind of, but
Highlander vampire?
Yeah, but he becomes like, he's bald in the show, but he starts absorbing so much power that he learns how to fly. He starts manipulating stuff. He gets super strong. He grows a full head of hair.
Can old bald people do that?
If you can, I mean, you're kind of an energy vampire, so maybe you could play this character in another sense.
All right.
Yeah,
talk to my agent about that.
Yeah, it's on the Hulus or the Disney Hulus at this point. Funny show, but it was going on for way too fucking long. Way too fucking long. You know, it is literally The Office style, but the documentary crew is following around a group of vampires in Pennsylvania.
All right, yeah, check that out.
Yeah, it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
At least the first few seasons.
Yeah, the first few seasons are good. I cannot remember. Colin Robinson, that's what it is.
All right.
So he's the only American vampire in the house. The rest of them all met each other overseas where they came from. But Colin Robinson is from America, so like that's also why he works in offices. He starts, absorbing. He annoys people or bores them to the point that he just absorbs their energy. He doesn't drink blood. He's just an energy vampire. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just so funny. Like, anybody can do it to anybody. Actually, I forgot about that. He can do it to other vampires because he's trying to just explain something to his housemates, and they all end up falling asleep because it's just like, oh, it happened again.
See, so I got tuned into the show for tidbits of
exactly.
useless TV information. If you're sitting at home being completely bored, being like, what new show should I watch?
Yes, I even knew.
Which old show that I didn't know existed?
Yeah, I kept getting ads for it on Hulu.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fine, I'll go check it out. It looks dumb enough. And I'm like, this show is so dumb. And I just kept watching it. And then I would laugh occasionally. Then Guillermo's plight. He's the human familiar to I can't remember the main vampire's name. And then that one guy, he's a British actor. I can never remember his name. Do you watch the IT Crowd?
Nah.
Oh, okay. That's another one of those ones. But either way, he talks like this. He's got a really big, everything he says, very theatrical. Every single thing. And he's one of the other vampires in the show, Laszlo. And he has a whole fake bullshit persona to make himself bigger than he is.
Yeah.
It's just, and he's not that old of a vampire. He's like supposedly a scientist, fucks everything up. You know, it's like all the like dumb shit of the monsters, kind of, but only vampires. Well, I think werewolves come up later. I forget something. You know, the show gets weird. The show gets weird because they're secret vampires.
Oh.
Nobody knows they're vampires. They just think they have really quirky neighbors. Because people just don't understand, I guess.
So.
People are so self-absorbed and stupid that they don't even understand. But the main reason they moved to that town is because there wasn't a whole lot of direct sunlight and mostly cloudy days. It's very twilight.
Seattle?
Yeah, it's very, yeah, but they're in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah, because they...
Well, I think Pittsburgh's the second darkest city.
Yeah.
Outside of Seattle.
I think they're in a suburb outside of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. It's just so funny. Either way, total random subject.
Yeah,
there.
that was completely.
But speaking of, no, that was a really bad segue. I was going to say speaking of undead actors, but no, that's fucking horrible. We have, so guys, we were going to talk about it last week because we had a whole bunch of random deaths. First and foremost, the fantastic actor Sam Niell passed away. And just real quick, we're going to run through just some of our favorite movies as we look at the IMDb's effectively. I think it's pretty easy to just say Jurassic Park. All the Jurassic Park movies that Sam Niell was in is Dr. Alan Grant. The movies might have sucked, but he was good in them. Like Jurassic Park 3, easily shouldn't be a part of the canon. But when he came back for Jurassic World, I think not Fallen Kingdom, the other one. The bad one. Either way. That one wasn't great either. Oh, Dominion. It's right there on the screen. I should probably just look at the phone, you know. I never saw Hunt for the Wilder People, but I heard that was a fantastic movie back in the day.
I'm just amazed how much he was actually in.
Yeah, this is actually, I've got a truncated list and it's short or long. What do you got on there?
I mean,
that you know of?
Yeah, he started his career 1971.
Yeah.
And I don't think he stopped working since then. So like every year he did multiple movies or something.
TV shows, movies.
Yeah.
I forgot he was the first he was the first rich guy in Bicentennial Man. And I love that movie. So like that, I haven't had time to sit down and watch that 2.5 hour long ass movie, but it's fantastic. But he was the one who originally bought Robin Williams' robot character.
Okay.
And they had the discussions of what it's like to be human and all this other stuff. He was responsible for giving him his freedom so that he could evolve into what he eventually became. Fantastic.
I forgot he was in Hunt for Red October.
Yeah, he was the XO on the Russian ship. Yeah, having a New Zealander pretend to be a Russian underneath a Scottish guy. He was definitely a Russian guy. One of my favorite things that he ever did was the Merlin miniseries. That was so good, so cheesy and so bad at the same time. He played the titular character of Merlin, but I love that shit. And I guess Godzilla X Kong Supernova is one of his final roles. So the next, big MonsterVerse movie, which also just random news alongside that was the young lady who played Gia just died in a tragic car accident. So she was the deaf girl who could talk to Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's dead.
Oh.
18.
Wow.
Yeah. Fucking sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but related news, you know. You mentioned earlier when we were off camera, when he was playing Odin in Thor Ragnarok. And I think he reprised that role later as well. I can't remember if he did it in... Yeah, he might have actually... No, because Odin would be dead by then, so they wouldn't have Odin in the next one. But they had the rest of the actors continuing on the plays in New Asgard. Ivanhoe, old ass movie, but I remember him being in that too. But look how much he did voice acting, like Peter Rabbit or The Dish. Apparently, he did a bunch of stuff as Sheep, which I find really weird in particular. But
I liked him in Peaky Blinders.
See, I never got into Peaky Blinders, which is ironic considering the hats I wear.
Yes,
I mean, like literally a bunch of those are Peakies. And then actually they did a collaboration directly with Peaky to create that exact hat. There's a bunch on here too. I think I remember the Snow White, A Tale of Terror. It was more of a horror version. I think I actually remember that. That was Sigourney Weaver, by the way. The Jungle Book. I think he was one of the hunters or something like that in the live action Jungle Book from the 90s, if you remember that one.
Yeah.
With I think it was, I don't know if that guy was actually Brandon Lee's kid. It might have been. Yeah, I think that might have been Jason Scott Lee. Yeah, his grandson.
I think so, yeah.
So, I mean, like, he's got a very, very long storied career, and I'm just looking at movies, not even the TV shows. But, it was sad. He just up and died. I think it was kind of out of nowhere a little bit. Horse Whisperer. That was a good one.
Oh, yeah. That was real good.
I have not seen that movie in a long damn time. It's still on VHS at my parents'. Oh, duh, of course. One of the classic sci-fi horror movies from the 90s, Event Horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's amazing role there. Playing the doctor who's slowly going insane because it's his ship. That movie still haunts me a little bit. Have you ever seen the cut section?
No.
From that movie? So like where you see like occasionally you get those little glimpses into the other version of hell, where they actually filmed all that, like the torture scenes of like all the crewmen, the horrible stuff. That does exist out on the internet. You can find that actual like demonic hell torture scene that he saw or he showed somebody. We got like 2 seconds of it in the movie, but they ran it through test screenings and people were literally getting sick. They're like, okay, this is only supposed to be like a basic rated R. We can't do this to people. It would have pushed it like NC-17. So they actually had to cut that, but you can find it out there. It's very, very disturbing.
Yeah, I think I'll skip it.
Yeah. No, I mean, unless you just really want to, fuck with somebody. But either way, very.
Buddy, let's go watch a movie. Look what I found.
Yeah, look what I found. Hey guys, you remember Event Horizon? Oh, there's got to be some asshole who's actually put it all together out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Where it's like one whole cut,
I remember that movie. Yeah, that screwed in my mind.
Yeah.
I was too young to watch it, I think.
But what's funny about that is that's where I learned a little bit of Latin. Because they were deciphering the Latin that the previous captain was recorded saying, and I was like, oh, okay. And then like because I had exposure to something else, I actually knew what they were saying. Like I forget what other thing had taught me a little bit of Latin. I was like, wait a minute, I know those words. Huh. Okay. And then I looked it up later. I was like, no, actually, he got that wrong. That's not actually what he was saying. Which in the movie, they actually said, no, that's not what he said. You're mistranslating it.
Yeah.
Which if you go through it, that mistranslation makes sense as to why he said it wrong on purpose. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. In the movie, he purposely told them the wrong translation so they wouldn't leave faster. Yeah. So either way, so rest in peace, Sam Niell. And I guess also rest in peace, Lindsey Graham. Senator Lindsey Graham just literally up and died of a random heart explosion.
That was a shocker.
Yeah, to him, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He's not survived by anybody, sadly, because he didn't have no wife, no kids, or anything else like that. And he just got back from a thing in Ukraine. Not fishy at all.
No, I heard no conspiracy theories about it. It was
none whatsoever.
Absolutely. Yep. The guy just died.
Nope. He just up and died for no reason. Yep. And a very, very rare heart explosion.
Yeah, because he was only giving interviews during his whole trip and looked perfectly fine. And for some reason had a camera filming things in a secret drone facility, which...
Well, don't know what you're talking about. Nope. Nope, we don't know nothing about that.
Oh, yeah.
Nope.
In theory.
No.
In theory.
In Minecraft. In Minecraft, he was filming a top secret drone facility where we're definitely not buying drones from them,
What?
Whatever. And then also we have a currently missing senator, Chuck Schumer.
Is he missing? Is that what you're talking about? The other the senator from McConnell? Not McConnell.
Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell.
I said Chuck Schumer. Wrong one. Sorry.
Wrong old.
Chuck Schumer is the House. Yes, the other one. My bad. Yeah, Mitch McConnell. Supposedly he's fine. He just had a cardiac episode, and he's fine. He's just not been filmed, or nobody's technically. People have said they've talked to him, but there's been zero proof of life for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Also, no conspiracies on that one.
No, his wife seems legit.
Yeah, she immediately went to China.
Yeah, because
and decided to stay there.
Because if you're a powerful senator, you always marry a national Chinese spouse.
I don't know about that.
That
but
seemed normal.
Well, there's a few guys might be
maybe
questionable. Yeah, maybe.
No conflict of interest there.
Nope.
No.
But there has been no proof of life, which is really strange. And so allegedly he has passed away, but they're not saying anything about it because that would mean that his spot could be the governor of his state would have to appoint a replacement.
Oh, he's a Democrat, is he?
No,
in Connecticut.
He's a Republican. Oh, the governor is the governor. Yes. So the governor is a Democrat and Mitch McConnell is not.
Yeah.
So that means he'll be able to pick whoever he wants to replace, which is why they will wait until the deadline and basically be like, "Oh no, poor Mitch died just now, not months ago. Definitely not months ago." Yeah, this is going to be the most crazy election season until the next one.
We need term limits.
I don't think we need term limits. I think we need age limits. Because you do need to have people in there long enough to do something. Because usually, especially in the House of Representatives, the 2-year term, by the time you get through a first year and a half, you've only barely learned the ropes.
And I'm okay with like longer term limits, but
yeah,
it's when you're in there for life.
No 40 years. None of that nonsense.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
It gets crazy. I mean, if you want to make like
do 2 terms,
2 terms, 3 terms,
yeah,
4 even, but has to be a limit.
Yeah, I mean, the House is 6-year limit or 6-year term, so call it 12. You can't do more than 12,
right?
And you definitely can't do, and you can do them in any way you want. You can do 6 here, come back on another election and do another 6. Who knows? But it's just they need the term limits, so they also need age limits because at some point you're so irrelevant to what's currently going on. Like, I mean, look at there's so many Congress members who are octogenarians or apparently septuagenarians, which apparently is also not a word, as I learned the other day.
That's what it was. Octogenarian?
Octogenarian and nonagenarian is the thing, but apparently septuagenarian is not.
It's not.
No, weirdly. Don't know why.
Grace, we need to fact check this.
Grace, next Friday.
Next Friday. When you're watching this. In the comments. Is that real?
Is septuagenarian a thing? I'm going purely by what an actor said who is 70 years old. And he said he was shocked to find out septuagenarian was not a thing. Weird. But no, I think that we need to have age limits, both lower and old. You shouldn't get in when you're so young, you're still a moron. And you shouldn't stay in so long that you're literally being wheeled around and barely able to function.
Yeah. Making laws about Bitcoin, which you don't even understand.
Or doing interviews about Facebook and emails.
Yeah.
That was embarrassing. So, yeah, that's very interesting that we've got a bunch of dead people out there, seemingly.
All at once.
Yeah. Well, So, guys, I do want to go ahead and take this time real quick to do a quick little, moment of silence because our good friend Rodney found out, I don't know exactly when it happened, probably in the last 2 days, that his dad passed away.
Oh, man.
So he had brain tumor, had surgery, complications after the surgery led to stroke and seizures. And
oh, gosh.
Apparently a cyst crept up in the scar tissue left behind. And basically it pushed down on suppressing his, what's what I'm looking for, brainstem and stuff like that. So eventually he did succumb. So very sad day. So, rest in peace, Rodney Sr. Apparently their funeral is next week.
Okay.
So that, if anybody's counting, that's Sean, Johnny, me, and now Rodney. So I warned all my friends today. I was like, check on your dads for the love of God, because they're dropping like flies in 2026. Even Chad, we talked about Chad's dad, Chuck, and he's got, medical issues. He's got balance problems. He's been falling quite a lot, so it's like, can we bubble wrap Chuck and then like strap him to his chair so we don't have to worry about him anymore?
Yeah.
Get somebody to feed him, like Chad's mom, probably, or maybe some young attractive person. I don't know. That'd be good too. Preferably female, I guess. I didn't specify. I apologize. Apologize for all the guys out there who definitely want to feed an old man strapped to a chair. Fucking weirdos. Anyways, so am I correct in saying you lost your dad?
No, I lost my mom.
Mom. Okay, I couldn't remember which parent you lost.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You say you talk to your dad fairly often. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So your mom died when?
When I was a junior in college.
Okay. Yeah, so in your 20s.
20s.
Yeah, okay. And so this is this is the first time I've lost anybody directly connected to me.
Mm-hmm.
And the funeral was yesterday. And let me tell you, you saw how crazy and awkward and out of every field episode 200 was, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had no hand in planning the funeral arrangements or anything other than getting our pastor involved. And I'll tell you, day of, total fucking chaos. Total fucking chaos from the get-go. So, first of all, I hear from James because he decided to call the funeral home, do the right thing, and try to get with the coordinator, see what all he needed to do, what he needed to know, all these things.
Mm-hmm.
They said there was no funeral scheduled for my dad on the day.
What?
Technically true, because it was just a gravesite commemoration or whatever they call that, where they just put the ashes in the ground.
Okay.
Not treated as a funeral service. So you call asking about a funeral service, and there isn't one under that name. Makes sense. But if you didn't know that there's a definite line there.
I didn't know that.
Now we do.
I didn't think it mattered.
No, but apparently it does.
Okay.
So on top of that, I've already dealt with this problem. And then I have to go to the bathroom. So I'm in the bathroom. And my aunt calls. It's only been 20 minutes. My aunt calls. Hey, just letting you know your mom's phone isn't working at all, so she can't get a hold of anybody. And if you try to call her, you're not going to get a hold of her. I'm like, oh, that makes things really fun because she's the only one who knows anything about what's going on today. Okay, so that's the next one down. So I tell her about what James told me. So she calls the funeral home, confirms that, texts me back the correct info. She's like, no, everything's fine. It's still the same day and everything. They just call it this. I'm like, oh, okay. That makes sense. Why would you know that otherwise? So I confirm with James. Yay. I tell Jessica what's going on. Because mind you, this has all happened while I'm still in the bathroom. And tell her what's going on. And she's like, oh, okay, what the hell? I was like, yeah, so we need to make sure we leave at a reasonable time just in case things get wonky.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, it's on the other side of town. It's on 59 south of the Beltway. A reasonable drive from here.
Mm-hmm.
So we get ready. We head over there, get there, like, I don't know, 9, 10, if that. Mom's already there. My aunt and cousin came in from out of town. So, my dad's last, how do I say this nicely? Still has it all together, sister. So he's only got 2 sisters left. Everybody else died.
Mm-hmm.
So he lost one sister and both brothers already. So
okay.
It's kind of sad. But either way, they came for the funeral. Awesome to see them. It's been literally over 20 years. Like, yeah. I was like, I've barely graduated high school the last time I saw them.
Wow.
Yeah. And we get there, and Mom already starts telling me about what's already going wrong. And it's that the florist, just for no reason, just said, oh, hey, sorry, I can't do it. Can't get your arrangements for today.
What?
It's like, you mean your whole job? You just kind of forgot to fucking do your job? Like, what? So they had to cancel that. And then my cousin paid for just a big, tall, plant to have out there. And then a couple other people bought some to set out there. And it's just like, oh my fucking God. Like I just got here and already things are going insane. And the funeral director comes out. Nice guy. Shout out to him. Nice guy. Very sharply dressed. And he's like ready to go. It's like 9:25. The funeral's at 10.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, let's get the rolling. I'm like, buddy, nobody's here yet. It's like, we're here. There's like tons of family that haven't even shown up yet. And that was an understatement. Because a lot of family and even some neighbors, after I made the post on Sunday or Saturday, whatever day I posted it.
It was a very nice post too.
Yeah. Thank you. But I posted that, and then so a few people saw it on Facebook, and then they came, or else they didn't have any clue what was going on. So that was good for me to do that, I guess. High five. Yeah. Either way, dude, when I tell you people were still rolling up at 9:59, they were, even after I had hopped in the car with James to go to the gravesite, I stayed behind. My brothers and sister and their families, and then a couple aunts and uncles that were there already, all were lined up to go to the gravesite. Mm-hmm. It's already a little bit past 9:30, almost 9:40. They're in line, they're ready to go. I told Jessica, I was like, look, I'm going to stay here. and direct people, because there's no way we're gonna find it. This is a massive, like 100-year-old cemetery. It just goes on for acres, right?
Yeah.
So y'all go. I can track you or the car if I need to figure out where I need to go, but I'm gonna stay here to tell people where to fucking go. And like, no joke, of course, leave it to James to show up at the last fucking second. I don't know if things went wonky. I don't know what happened. I didn't give him any shit for it. He did it. He did a service for us. Very literally did a service for us. But he rolled up at like literally 9:53. I called him. I was like, "Where are you, dude?" And he's like, "I'm looking at you." I'm like, "What? I don't see a Tesla." He's like, "I'm in a little green car over here." I'm like, "Oh, hi." So he was dressed up, had his nice little priestly robes on. Not robes, but priestly gear with the collar and all that. So if you've ever seen James with a collar, it's interesting. And right then, literally, as I'm about to do that, like, my friend Johnny rolled up. We just did his dad's funeral last month or month before. And then aunts and uncles rolled up right then. My cousin rolled up on a motorcycle. I was like, holy shit. Like,
yeah.
I was waiting on one person to show up, and we got a whole cluster. And then even more showed up after that. I was like, does 10 o'clock mean 10:10 to everybody? Like, what the hell? Like, half of you people don't live that far away, like 20 minutes away max, and they still couldn't get there on time. I was like, damn. I mean, I know it's 10 a.m. on a Monday, but come on, people. Like, I was here early, not just because it was my dad's funeral, but I would have showed up early anyways.
Yeah.
I'm
glad you got the good support, though.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people came out there. Like, we couldn't even tell him. Like, he was like, how many chairs should we get? And we're like, we don't know. It's like, we can't tell you.
Yeah.
We got, like, I think they gave us 20 chairs, and then everybody else surrounded it. He had the honor guard out there, because he's military. And it was a little awkward because, they got to do the flag thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
So there was no casket because he was cremated. So normally he would have been out there with the flag draped on the casket, and then they would fold the flag up and give it to you.
Right.
There's no casket. So they had the flag folded, unfolded it, showed it to us, and then folded it back up.
Okay.
So we watched in silence for like 7 minutes. These two honor guard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was awkward as fuck. It's just like, this is weird. It's like, if there was music playing, there'd be something, but there was no music. Like, it was like anything.
Yeah,
like,
the unfolding part would be.
Yeah, literally, they unfolded it and refolded it, and I'm like, neat. Now I know how to fold a flag.
Yep.
But also, that was weird. Thanks. They played taps. And I will say, I don't know if that young man actually played taps, because there was clearly a speaker-looking device in the end of his bugle. He might have just hit, and I'm not going to be offended by it, but still, I'm not entirely certain he actually played taps.
It's not pretty easy to.
I mean,
I could do on the harmonica.
Can you?
Taps.
Oh, we should have had you come out then.
Yeah.
Well, you're not military. They're going to put you in uniform.
That'd be weird.
Stolen valor.
That would really weird.
Borrowed valor. Would have been cool, though. Probably would have been able to hear it better. Because he was like over here, like 10 feet. Like, it's not an actual bugle.
Was it like an amplifier?
No. Unless there was a tiny speaker in the case. Like, he pulls it out the case. He's facing us, so I can see a thing in the end of the bugle.
Yeah.
And it looks like a speaker. And it wasn't very loud. If somebody was literally legitimately playing a bugle 20 feet away, it's gonna be loud. Like, you can't play a bugle quietly.
Right.
Right? It's like drums. You can't play the drums quietly. Right? So, I mean, like, it is what it is, but also would have been nice if they had like a drum line or something just playing while they were folding. Something other than us sitting there listening to traffic and each other breathe. It was weird, but it was fine.
Any bagpipes?
No, that would have been badass, though.
That would have been.
Yeah, I can't afford the bagpipes. Look, man, we're broke. It is what it is. It's like, technically speaking, this was paid for, but we swapped.
You're kind of wearing a hat, so I was wondering if maybe someone in your family knew bagpipes.
No, surprisingly not. Yeah, nobody bothered. Most of us have wonky fingers, so I don't know if we can do it. And crappy lung capacity. That would be an outsider. Like, get some. I mean, and we're not Scottish or Irish or anything else like that, so it is what it is. So, unless you're just going out of your way. Though I probably should ask James. I'd be like, anybody who plays the bagpipes? That'd be really useful.
I'm sure he has.
I brought my own bagpipist. Bagpiper?
Bagpiper. Roddy Piper?
I don't want him at the.
Yeah. I think he's dead too.
He might be dead. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's been dead.
Since we're on the topic.
Actually, I think he only died a few years ago. Like pre-COVID, maybe. Like, he lived for quite some time. But yeah, no. And then we went through the rest of the service. James did a really good job piecing together a what do you call it? Not a eulogy, is it? Not really. When the preacher does it, I don't know what you call that technically.
It's just a sermon.
Sermon? It's just a sermon, but
I'm sure there's an official Latin term for it.
Probably, but
in
like
the comments, Grace, can you put that?
Yes, Grace, please comment. Either way, so James did a really good job on that, basing it from the obituary that I posted that my mom wrote and I cleaned up and ran through ChatGPT.
I think the eulogy is about
eulogies for everybody.
Family.
Yeah, so we had people come up and say their stuff.
Yeah.
But I think also the eulogy is also considered part of that whole thing too. But it was good. I was holding it together until James started talking. I was just, damn it. I was like, okay, so now I have uncontrollable tears. That's fun. Straight face with tears. I was like, I hate this. It's like, it's not that I really have a problem with crying. It's that I have a problem not controlling the crying.
And James has a really good delivery.
He does. He had a very good delivery. And then when we got to the point where he called other people up there, I thought I was going to hold it together. No. It's like, fuck. Other people saying nice things about my dad breaking me up over here. This is horse shit. It's like, and then I even thought like, okay, cool. I speak for something that looks like a living. I should be able to get up here and say some nice words about my dad. Couldn't get out of the fucking chair. Jessica, on the other hand, did get up. She said, and then of course I start bawling. Like as soon as she starts talking, I'm like, fuck. Like, because I get more emotional based on other people's emotions, especially hers. So if she's getting upset, it affects me more.
Right.
So she did really good considering. And she was very polite to my mom in the moment, which was slightly difficult as you normally. But she talked about how like my dad really reminded her of her dad, and very similar sense of humor and stuff like that. Immediately latched onto him, and vice versa. And just basically it's like both. She felt like she got her dad back, and then also feels like she lost her dad again.
Yeah, that's real nice.
Yeah, so it was just very, very sad. So. A couple cousins got up there. My brothers couldn't say anything. Sister did say something. She couldn't bring herself to get up, but she said it from her seat, which was actually very funny. And I'd forgotten that. My dad had a very specific name for her. It's his daughter, right?
Yeah.
Call her what's her face. and she's like, I don't care how long he's dead or whoever else comes along, I will always be what's her face. I'm like, yep. And then I even said, I was like, yeah, can confirm you were literally Chris What's-Her-Face in his phone book.
Wow.
Yeah. Like both the written phone book and in his cell phone.
Wow.
In a cell phone, he put What's-Her-Face. Well, somebody put What's-Her-Face because it's an old flip phone, so he couldn't really fit it all in there. But that was good. And my brother just lost his wife. So like he's still dealing with that. They hadn't even, as far as I know, they haven't had a funeral for her or anything else. He's still trying to get his ass back to work. So whenever we put his ashes in I didn't know they did a whole containment thing. Like, so you can technically bury an urn if it's a very specific type. Otherwise, they have like a concrete/granite box.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a post office box.
Kind of, but it's like, I mean, like his ashes were in a plastic thingy, right?
Yeah.
But then they put it in this what looked like an upside down tub, because the lid was here. You set it in the thing, and then they put the whole top over it, and it had a thing on top, and they sealed it with some type of tube caulking.
I
don't
think I saw that.
No, it was the first time I've ever seen that either. But I'd never known anybody who buried the ashes. It's not unheard of, clearly, but I'd never seen it done. And then we have our own tiny urn in there. So we got some ashes. My sister got some. I don't know if anybody else did. I don't know if my brothers would, or my one brother might have, but I don't know. The other one came in from way out of town and brought my nephew with him, and so it was good to see my nephew.
That's good. Well, funerals are sad, but it's also good to see.
Yeah,
a lot of people that you wouldn't normally see.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, like I couldn't tell you the last time I saw my oldest brother. Because he hasn't come around, or if he has, he's only hung out with the other two, and whatever. Obviously, a few years ago, they all went out for the old man's birthday.
Yeah,
I wasn't invited. Whatever. It's not like we share the same dad or anything. So they had to like leave immediately because they're living almost North Texas, not quite North Texas, but way the fuck up there. So he and my nephew rode together, and my nephew had to get back to work in West Texas.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So today he had to be back at his job in West Texas. So they basically drove down here for the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
I assume they stayed at my brother or my sister's house and then hauled ass back because he still had a 10-hour drive after he got home.
Texas is a really big state.
Yeah, it's its own country. It should be. So we went and did lunch at my aunt's wedding hall. A lot more family actually showed up to that. That wasn't even at the funeral. So that was good. We all sat around telling stories, catching up with people, that we hadn't seen in a while and things like that. But honestly, it was a smaller affair than I would have guessed. But also I had to realize it was a Monday morning with little notice.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. And also like the Shoki side of the family is large and spread way out. Like we're everywhere. Like my mom's side is very condensed to this area, like the greater North Houston area, right?
Right.
So even if we wanted to try to gather everybody, we would have to give them like a month's notice.
Yeah.
So that they could either somewhere in Florida, some are still in California, some are in like Arizona, some are up in the Northeast, fucking everywhere. So, it is what it is. And like, I love that my aunt on Thursday says, "Hey, we're doing a luncheon at the hall. Put together a slideshow if you want." I'm like, 4 days notice you're gonna try to it's like, I'm working and doing everything else. And I'm just like, okay, let me go through my Facebook and see. There's bound to be some photos. 7,000 photos on my Facebook, less than 20 of my dad that don't, and less than that of just or him. So I was like, well, all right. I was like, well, that's not gonna happen. I can't go through a million freaking photo albums and scanning stuff with 4 days notice. Had they figured that out a lot earlier, probably could have managed something, but it was fine. It was fine.
How'd your mom to handle it?
I mean, she broke down when you expected it to, and she had a lot of good things to say. She was surprised so many people showed up. I'm like, people liked him. You're the one they have problem with. It's like, your funeral's going to be the hard one. Everybody should have been here. Everybody loved him. I even told James, like, as he's reading the obituary, because, he only met my dad once. And I was like, yeah, you would have liked my dad, just not his taste in beer. So he was a Bud Light drinker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bud Light or Busch Light, whatever.
Well, that's that generation.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I got him into some craft beer, but nothing he was going to go out and buy. But, we didn't get there. But, like, my dad lived such a damn long life. Like, we couldn't even bother in the eulogy to cover anything that wasn't in the past 20 years. Like, no joke. Like, nothing about his life in the military, none of that. Like, mentioned that he was military. Didn't talk about, like, all the places he's lived. Didn't talk about the farm. Didn't talk about any of the early life. None of that. It was like, because it's just, 60 damn years of history that we couldn't even cover.
Yeah.
But James said one thing that was nice, just going off the thing, is like, he lived for 92 years, was married to my mom for 54 years. Mind you, had another wife before that, but who cares about that bitch? But then, four kids, one that hasn't managed to have any of his own yet, but enough grandkids and even great grandkids that we couldn't even bother to name them all off. So he's like, yeah, you can't really ask for much more than that.
Yeah.
A family too big to bother naming. And then, you get into like the extended family and stuff like that. It's a wholly different thing. I got to see my nephew for the first time in a long time. He had a mustache, and I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
Like,
nothing wrong with that.
So blonde, I couldn't tell he had a mustache.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, super blonde. Like, they got the Swedish genes hard.
Yeah.
Like, very hard. So, like, what I would have had, like, the blonde hair and blue eyes stuck with my one brother's kids more than anybody else. Like, my niece Shannon, she keeps her hair blonde, but it's not as blonde as it used to be. Like, her and Sean, like, Sean lost all his blonde. He's just straight brown now. He went the same way as his dad. But my dad technically his hair was gray, but it really wasn't. It was white.
Okay.
Because my dad was very blonde. He dyed his hair darker later in life, but he was also very blonde with like silver blue eyes. Like,
oh, wow.
And I didn't get that at all. My mom's genes took over when I was 8.
So you didn't get any of the blonde or blue eyes?
As a baby, I did.
Yeah.
And up until I was 6 or so, I had blonde hair and blue eyes. Like proper blonde hair, blue eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time I was 8, hazel eyes and brown hair. It was like a change. Like if I didn't know I was me, I would swear I was replaced with someone who looked like me but was different. Though I guess like in like the eyes were darker, but I did have blue eyes for a while.
Right.
Like unreasonably long time for a child, because a lot of babies have blue eyes early, and then the other genes take over. Mine hung out for quite some time.
Yeah.
But I was just as blonde as they were until I was 6 or 7.
Sorry, I just had a flashback of twins of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Dan.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Oh, he looks more like our dad. Yeah. But yeah, no, so yeah, it was not a fun day. And then we had to go to a doctor's appointment for Jessica after that.
Geez.
Yeah. I mean, that part was fine. Got her on some new medication to help with her lupus.
Yeah.
So that should be a good thing.
Good.
Yep. So yeah, awkwardness. Fun thing. But one thing I've been talking about a lot lately is grief, the grieving process and stuff like that. And like everybody who hits me up like, hey, so sorry for your loss, and people who keep seeing posts about my dad, not realizing I've been posting about my dad being dead for 3 weeks. It's like, hey, you guys know he's been dead. He didn't just die. You know, it's like you commented on the other ones. And they're like, so sorry for your loss and all this other stuff. Call me if you need me and stuff. It's like, I feel like I should care about any of that. And I appreciate that people say nice things, obviously. You know, I like my friends and whatnot. But it's also like, I'm not grieving. Like, it's not that I'm being a dick about it or anything. It's like, I did my grieving. I lost my dad a long time ago. His body just caught up.
Right.
It wasn't sudden, you know? It's like, he's been dying for a bit. You know, that's the sad part. It's like, the soul of the person who was my dad had passed on a long time ago. And it was just the shattered remnants that held on this long.
Yeah.
You know, as sad as it is to say, that's the way I look at it. I'm like, if my dad was absolutely normal and then he suddenly died in his sleep, I would be devastated. But I watched my dad go through hell for 3 years. And then the last 9 or 10 months have been the worst, obviously. So I know when my dad went, effectively.
All right.
But, you know, even after I obviously I had a reaction to seeing his dead body. But I didn't like break down and all this other stuff. You know, I let Jessica have some time with him because, like, you know, she loved him properly. I loved him as a son would love their dad, you know.
Yeah.
And I appreciate everything that he taught me. Like, all the useful skills I have in life, I learned from him. So, like, mechanical stuff, like needing to fix cars, needing to build shit, all of that, you know, logical thinking through planning and stuff like that. But then also just hey, let's go grab some wood and put some shit together and see what happens. You know?
Yeah.
That creative spirit. It's like he was both creative and in a point where he could make something from scratch if he wanted to, but he would also just straight up grab a plan and follow it exactly. It's like, nope, to the letter. I'm not fucking this one up. And one of his favorite things he always liked to say when we were building something, he said, it's a garage, not a coffee table. You know,
yeah,
the details won't matter. It's a huge ass building. It's like, it's not, or actually it was dining room table. Cause, you know, which I did build at one point. I built a dining room table, but you know, all the useful skills I had in my life came from him.
Right.
And then my love of useless knowledge also came from him. Sitting there watching with him, doing Jeopardy every afternoon, watching Jeopardy with my old man. You know, doing crosswords, doing the Sunday morning puzzles in the paper and stuff like that. Like I was doing the word finds. I would do the, what were the ones where it's like, they would give you like one letter and you had to try to figure out the rest of the thing. Like they would give you like an image and you're supposed to fill out a phrase, but they would give you like certain letters. So you had to decode it effectively. So like that whole thing came from his love of those things.
Yeah.
So I got that from him. Like, I'm not discounting anything I learned from my mom. I got my love of art and music and stuff from her. You know, my artistic capabilities came from her. My building shit came from him. Mm-hmm. And also drinking. You know, there's that. Yeah, the drinking part, yeah. But you know what's really funny is that my cousin Angie brought up something, and we did something at the reception. My dad specifically, at some point when she was like 13 or 14, like just creeping up into that age, and Angie's 3 years older, I believe, and her and my other cousins had just reached that age, and they're like, you know what, we're having a big family get together, somebody's birthday, Thanksgiving, something, you know, we'd have 60, 70 people over, right? Massive family. And so they decided to just go ahead and make White Russians for all the kids.
Oh gosh.
Well, kids. And she mentioned that. I was like, oh, I remember this. I was like, I don't remember all the details, but I remember that because that's how I learned to like White Russians and stuff too. Now I'm pretty sure they were making them virgin, but not telling the kids. I mean, Kahlua has a tiny bit of alcohol. They weren't loading it up with vodka or anything else like that. So we made some White Russians there. So shout out to Lacey for making those drinks and Carrie for buying this stuff. So I forgot about that. That was one of those things. It's like, oh wow, that's buried. That's like 1992 or something. That was way back there. If you don't mind me poking and prodding at your mom passing, was like, obviously you were much younger, but obviously I'm dealing with things very differently to how I see other people deal with things. So when your mom passed, how was that for you? Like, was it a major shock? Was it?
It was and it wasn't. She was sick her whole life.
Oh.
She had juvenile diabetes back in
the
50s when they didn't know how to deal with it correctly. So she kind of struggled her whole life, and then she lost her kidneys and then got a kidney transplant. I mean, she got a kidney transplant. And she was doing a lot better, but I guess then she got like lung cancer at one point. She didn't smoke, but I guess because of the kidney transplant,
just
her immune system got a little
because you got to be on immunosuppressants the whole time. Yeah, anything can crop up.
Right. So then eventually, I think she died of a silent heart attack.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So
well, probably from throwing clots from the transplant, like
right,
or the cancer. Any of those things could cause all the other stuff to go crazy wrong. So when you were,
but it was hard because I was still in school.
Yeah,
and there's no like indications. It wasn't like she was fading away or anything.
Were you still at home or were you away?
I was away. I was going to school in West Virginia.
Oh,
okay. And they were living in New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
So
wait, what was your college again? Because you mentioned it at episode 200.
Yeah, I went to a few colleges. My first one was West Virginia University.
Okay. Because you said something about goat ears, and we were like, what?
Oh, yeah. That many ears.
Yeah. I was very confused.
Yeah, okay.
I just remember that when we were talking about college football and stuff. Because once again, I just edited that. So I was like, what the fuck was he talking about? So it was kind of sudden, even though she was sick.
Right.
Yeah. You're wired somewhat similar to me, which is why we're friends. I think it's a Kevin thing. But did you have like this massive grieving process or depression or big tears and stuff? I could see you being a very emotional guy in the closet, like just over here crying to yourself in the shower. But
yeah, I don't think I'm in public. I don't know. I was sad, but I kind of like grieved through like work.
Yeah.
Because I had to go back. I forgot exactly when she passed away, but I know finals wasn't too far away. So
so you're busy.
So I just like focused on studying and trying to get, through that, and
well, I guess
kind of grieve through
you just
through classes.
Distracted yourself with everything. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I can't say I didn't do that as well. It's not like it's like he did pick the most opportune time, like the week before the live show. It's like, sure, yeah, why not? Yeah, just I needed more things to happen today. It's like, and then Jessica went to the hospital that same week. Like, oh, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Fucking A. We're still.
I guess kind of like you had a lot of family a lot of support. So it helped. It was more hard leaving my dad because as soon as the funeral was over, I had to go back to school, and he was stuck, in a house by himself. So it was almost felt harder leaving him than my mom passing away in a way.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Because he's going through it.
Right. And I'm not there for him.
Yeah. And you and your dad are close enough.
Yeah. So, but know what he did?
Yeah.
Then
built a boat.
Yeah, almost. My second senior year.
Yeah.
I was I was in a campus ministry there. So they were building a new church.
Oh.
So my dad was retired and obviously single. So he's like, oh, and like any church, they have no money. So they're building it all themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So my whole senior year, he came, lived with the pastor, lived on campus, built a church.
Really?
And was more popular than I was. He hung out with my friends, went to football games.
There could be a movie about your dad.
It was almost like old school.
It's like Back to School.
Yeah.
Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
And all those other, or what was it? They did a newer version of like Back to School with Melissa McCarthy. It was mostly the same concept.
Mm-hmm.
She ended up going to college at the same time as her daughter, and then became popular and became an unfrumpy mom, and like was about to sleep with a teenage boy and realized what she was about to do. She's like, "You're a kid. I can't do this." Decent movie, not gonna lie, but that is funny. But he did something with his grief.
Yeah, that kind of helped in the healing process.
Yeah. And I just watched a podcast. I forget if it was, I think it was the trigonometry one with a guy on there who was not an emotional therapist, but basically like he went over happiness and sadness and things like that, and what people perceive as happiness and what people think of pleasure. People always think happiness and pleasure go together. They can, but they're not the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Taking joy in something or taking pleasure in something sounds the same. It's not. It's actually a different biological process. But he was talking about how grief, and once again, it might be confusing two separate podcasts because I watch a lot, but he said the best way to get through grief is not to go through it on your own, but to help the next person that you know of that's also going through the same grief as you.
Mm-hmm.
So like Tim reaching out to me today, he's like, he was very close to his parents. He loved his parents dearly. And, with Germany, things are obviously culturally a little bit differently, but he was telling me about his dad. He was telling me about his mom, telling me how they passed and all that stuff. I was like, oh, that's very similar. And he was talking about how when they initially died, he was incredibly depressed, incredibly sad. And once he got over that part, he realized he needed to start living in their memory instead of living in the grief of their death.
Yeah.
So he now goes and does things that his dad used to love to do or wanted to do and never got a chance to do. So he goes and sees things and stuff like that. There's still places he still wants to go, still wants to see, explore things, like, because I think he said his dad likes to travel or like to travel and stuff like that and explore. And helping other people who are suffering in the same way helps you deal with your grief. You eliminate your grief by helping someone else eliminate theirs.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just self-isolate and you just drink yourself to death or whatever other people do, like sadly what Johnny's dad did, he never got over the fact his wife passed away. So he literally drank himself to death in his depression. So, like I've been helping Sean even now, he's literally having to process in the very literal sense all the stuff since his dad died. Helping around the house, helping his mom fix stuff, fixing up the shop so that it'll last another 30-40 years because it had huge holes in the ceiling and shit like that and water leakages and all this stuff. And I was helping him through his grief without ever realizing it's because I had already dealt with my grief from my dad. My dad wasn't dead yet, but in my mind and in my heart, I've already been through it.
Yeah.
I've already dealt with all the stages of grief effectively. And so yesterday was more about remembrance for me than it was about the beginning of a grieving process. So the whole time I've been helping Sean get through his stuff and then talking to Johnny about his, and I'm just like, I'm just moving through my friends. And now I guess I'm going to help Rodney at the same time, and go through it together. And he also had to watch his dad die because he was having to live with him and take care of him because he couldn't take care of himself anymore. So it was really, really fucking sad. So,
no, I mean, totally agree, because I think that's where the healing process came when my dad came up to school.
Yeah.
And we were surrounded by a lot of people we knew and loved, and help get through that a lot faster than just sitting at home by yourself watching TV, just constantly thinking about it.
Yeah, the wounded animal sitting alone. Yeah. And I hate to say it, it is very similar. That concept is, I think, just in my personal, from the outside experience, that's what happened to my sister and her husband when they lost their daughter back in, like, I think it was 01 or 02. Can't remember exactly. I know it's still like right around graduation time. Okay, so she would have been 18, which means I was 18. So it would have been 2001. As far as I can say, in the kindest way, they never came out of that room where they found her dead. Like, she was never supposed to live 18 years, and she did. So they got 18 years they were never promised. They had to take care of her like an infant the entire time because she was born without a brainstem.
Oh.
Or a barely connected brainstem. Enough of it connected over time that she actually started learning to walk with a walker, but she had very little control over any bodily functions. She couldn't eat, so she had to have a feeding tube and all that. And that's actually what ended up killing her, was something separated in her feeding tube. They couldn't tell because internal, and then she basically got septic and they didn't know. What woke him up was the fact he couldn't hear her breathing through the baby monitor, and that she had been gone long enough to be cold. But he never came out of that room because he lost his mom a year to the day before that. So his mom died, and then coincidentally bought 2 plots, one for her and one for Heather. And then a year later to the day, Heather dies. So he never really dealt with his grief. He drank and he did pills, he drank, he did everything. And he got back to some semblance of a normal life through work and stuff like that. My sister was religious, so I'm sure she found some comfort there, but she still never really got over it. And then in COVID, Roger died from COVID. He was one of the early ones where he got the really bad version. And could also be like I think he has some native blood that might have been part of it. Just whatever targeting, right?
Yeah.
And so she's never come out of that hospital room either. Even with having a grandkids to help raise and a daughter who's still trying to get her life straight and all this stuff, they dealt with the grief together, but they're now also in that room. Now, mind you, my other niece, it was her birthday when she died. So her sister died on her birthday immediately after Christmas. Yeah. So you can imagine the tail end of the year is really fucking rough for my sister and her family. But they never, as far as I know from my end, because of how much they continued to talk about it 20 years later. It's like, I get it, losing a child, it's nothing I can even compare. I lost a living child. So I still have a lot of damage just from that. But like comparatively, like, yeah, I understand you should never really get over that to a degree. But as I mentioned to Tim, it's like, but they never moved on from it. It's like they never left that moment in time.
Right.
They just continued to breathe. Survivor's guilt or something, I don't know, or all these other things. Like I said, I can't imagine what it's technically. And it's the same thing I told. What I told who else died? Fuck. There's somebody else who died of cancer, and I forgot. It wasn't one of them, but it's basically like Sean asked me, is like, why did it hurt so bad? Why does this suck so fucking bad? Obviously, death sucks. But he's like, this hurts. And I'm like, because you lost a fucking fight. Like, you guys were in it for the fight for your dad to live and get past his fucking cancer. Now imagine fighting literally every day for the life of your child for 18 fucking years. So I can understand to a degree why it's so much harder to get past that. But at the same time, if you only feed your grief with the same grief, like, there was nowhere to go where there wasn't grief. There was nothing but grief in the fucking house. My other niece dealt with it through drugs, just like her dad did, except she got arrested for it. He did. She was doing illegal activities in drugs. Eventually got her life clean, but It's one thing.
That's why the church is important.
Exactly.
You got your community there to help you through it. You got your, you can rely on Jesus to get you through it. He's not going to take the grief away.
Makes it
but
later.
But he's going to be there for you, and you're going to have a community around you to help lift you up.
And that is what I told my brother too when I talked to him right after Dad died. And he's still dealing with his wife. He hasn't even got her ashes back. And I tell him, I was like, "Hey, look, man, look. It's like I know you're not super religious, and you should probably just look into it. Whatever. Talk to Chris. She's very Catholic. Talk to her." But I said, it's like, look, if you accept Jesus, then you can accept that he can do anything and he can carry anything. It's like, what he can do is like, he's not going to take the grief from you, but he can make it weigh nothing. He could take that burden off of you, or at least make it weigh nothing. You're probably always going to carry it, but the more you decide to give it to someone who can carry it no matter what, the easier it's going to be for you.
Yeah.
If you insist on holding it all, it's only ever going to get heavier. That's the only thing.
And it's eventually going to eat you alive.
Yeah. The grief eats you alive, and you drink yourself to death. You take the pills, you ruin every other relationship in your life, or you push people away, all these kind of things. And that's one of those downward spirals. And like, I do that sometimes, but not with grief in the same way. That's more just of the other trauma, other emotional trauma I have. That's my abandonment issues more than it's anything. But I don't know. It's like, and just the fact that like so much other death, this has been a very death oriented episode.
Yes, thank you for having me on this. Tim gets the fun episode.
Oh, that was not fun. That was difficult. You know, I had to play devil's advocate to every crazy thing that Tim was saying, respectively. And Tim's a very smart guy, like very smart. For me to be turning everything he said back on him, like I'm just leading him down these paths. And then eventually I get, okay, cool. Now everything you just said apply to your current thought process. And he went, damn. It's just like, right. It's like you realize now, it's like this one thing about having moral, logical discussions is like eventually you're going to realize that everybody has their own morals and everybody's right within their own moral center. And then we had the whole Batman discussion. It's like, is Batman morally right for what he does when he stops the criminals, but then he lets them back out to do more damage? It would be, the right thing to do would be in the criminals, which was what happens in Injustice. Fails to stop the Joker. Joker causes horrible stuff to happen, kills millions, corrupts Superman. It was a killing joke, but directed at Superman instead of Batman. He gave up on torturing Batman and said, you know what, let me try the big blue Boy Scout. I bet I can get him. And he did, to his own detriment. But technically, by getting someone to kill him, the Joker always wins. So the point is like the Joker is just out there to be an agent of chaos. But Superman is correct in doing what he did to the Joker and holding Batman accountable for never doing it himself.
Yeah.
So, but in the same way, technically, that was a crime. But who's going to hold him accountable? He's Superman.
Right.
And Batman is on his side because Batman feels the grief of what he did in his failure to do that. Did this to him. So having those kind of morally gray discussions was fun. But having to argue leftist talking points just to rile him up was hard. It's just like I was like, okay, I gotta argue from the other side just to test and prove to Tim what's going on here.
Yeah.
That was hard, but it was fun. I would rather have those discussions. But I mean, if we want to have metaphysical discussions about what happens to you after you die, we could do that. But
I just read a book on that.
Did you? Wait, what book was that?
It was, I don't know, it was an audio book. And I don't know, I guess one of the churches like recommended a book, and I threw it on my audio book while I was driving.
Yeah.
And I forgot about it. So it's probably on my list for like years. I'm like, oh.
Eventually you got around to it.
Eventually I got around to it. And I was just talking about different theories on heaven and hell, and so
some form of afterlife.
Yeah, like going into like purgatory, and he's making some like good points of heaven is actually on Earth.
If you're Jewish.
Yeah, he's going back to, like, old texts and everything. And then, basically paradise is when you die. You go to paradise, which is pretty much like a waiting spot for the judgment. Okay. So it's not like that, not to be confused with the Catholic purgatory. You're not there to be judged.
So wait, you mean Florida?
Yes.
You go to paradise when you die.
Without the humidity.
Heaven's waiting room.
They just lower the humidity a little bit.
Yeah, lower the humidity. No, because the outside of the religious concept of afterlife and what happens when you die, I heard this fun theory, which I given some of my weird stuff I've experienced, I'm like, that's interesting. So if human beings and all living things exist in a certain frequency, like we exist, we send out our own little frequency ripples into the universe, into the amount of energy we have, right? And if there's a big if from the Christian perspective, very big if the concept of a soul is who you are in all aspects, right? But your soul is separate from your body. Just saying. Your body exists, your soul exists otherwise. It exists before your body, it exists after your body. Just what your soul's doing otherwise is that. Going way back to the discussion of what the pineal gland is and what it means for people after it gets calcified and all these other things. Pineal gland, for those who don't know, it's a nice little fun gland that's pretty much right in the middle of your forehead. A lot of places where especially like the Dharmic traditions, it's where the third eye is. It's like the concept of enlightenment and reaching higher planes. Mm-hmm. Weird that they would happen to point out that it feels like it's right there where the pineal gland would be. Most adults nowadays, their pineal gland calcifies sometime after puberty, and they think it has to do with a lot of the chemicals in the food and things like that, because there are people who it hasn't calcified in, and possibly they're a little bit more enlightened. But if the pineal gland acts as a receiver and your soul technically exists on a higher plane of existence, call that heaven, whatever you want to call it, and we're just projecting into our bodies for our whole lives, mind you. But once our body dies and the receiver is cut off, the signal just returns to home. But that would explain how and why people can have out-of-body experiences. Say, like, you push yourself to such a level that you're zoned out so far that your receiver is now completely open. So now you can go outside of your body. You can move things around. You can see things. Would also explain how people could travel the multiverse in dreams and in DMT, because you're just tuning in to another u's receiver. It's like it's the same source, different destination. But because it's basically tuned to the same thing, but it's in a different area. Like a TV signal goes out in all directions, right?
Kind of like a spiritual realm.
Yeah, something to that effect. Wherever souls are. And that's why, like, before you die, or I'm sorry, before you're born, your soul is in quote unquote heaven with God. And then you live your whole life spending your time trying to get back there.
But you still have the body, though, because you get a resurrected body.
Which means the body gets renewed and you just get popped right back in, right? Whenever we get around to that part, it's like, but the idea is that maybe the afterlife is literally just the other plane of existence. Don't say it's the next place. It's like, no, that's just where you are. It's like you've just been rolling around in an avatar body, because even reincarnation would make sense. You just got a new destination. Same soul, new destination. New life experience. That's where you can get previous memories. Because now you have a new brain. Your soul is the same, but you got a new brain to download into. I mean, because It's out there. I'm not saying it's not out there, but I've experienced enough weirdness that I'm like, okay, there might be something to this. It's like what is deja vu? We've talked about that repeatedly. Go watch the deja vu episode, guys. It's out there. Go look for our deja vu episode. In our Mandela effect episode, look for that too. But I posited, and then I heard somebody else say it as well, that deja vu is effectively two or more of yourself in the multiverse reaching the same point, to the point that your receivers are so close, you're actually experiencing what the other person is experiencing, feeling like something you've already done, because you're literally just so close, you're resonating with yourself in another universe because the frequencies are so close together.
Which ties in nicely to the Doomsday trailer.
It does, actually. Thank you for rolling into that very obvious thing I was doing there. Yes, guys, so getting away from this part, literally today, with like 500 million views or whatever it's up to, the new Marvel Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday trailer dropped, and it looks pretty cool.
It does.
One thing I never caught was that it's Doom giving the opening narration.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize that. I was like, who is this person talking? It's a weird accent. Oh, duh, it's a Latvian accent. That's why I don't know. It looks interesting. It does look like they're pulling out all the stops and putting them back in and calling them new stops and then pulling them back out and making new stops. Because we already know this is Marvel. This trailer is not going to mean anything by December. It's like, we're not going to get this movie. Don't worry about it. But we get like superheroes from everywhere across the multiverse. We got the Fantastic Four, which I guess they spoiled that all of the Fantastic Four came over. Seemingly in the teasers, not everybody made it, but now it's clear they did. We get the X-Men, which I didn't expect to see both Magneto and Charles Xavier from the old X-Men universe in here.
Yeah, you got Cyclops and Storm.
Yes, Cyclops. I don't know about Storm.
What's Storm?
You get Mystique.
Maybe, yeah,
for sure.
Oh, original Mystique is back.
Original Mystique. So it is Rebecca Romijn.
Yes,
but playing a cartoon accurate Mystique. No longer the full naked bodysuit, which is also, she said, does a main change she wanted to do. We're not ruling out that Logan's in here somewhere. He just hasn't been shown yet. There's already an insanely long list of people in this, both new and old.
Yeah. We
do see Thor literally go after Doom in whatever this universe, whatever the spot is. And this is a part that people seem to have a problem with. Thor charging at him full power, Stormbreaker, and he does the anime thing and literally stops him with two fingers. And it's like, yeah, I get the Doom is supposed to be incredible. Like, this is almost God King Doom. Almost. If I recall correctly, as we're leading into Secret Wars, I think Secret Wars was conducted by God King Doom. So at this point, he is like all powerful, like well beyond Thanos powerful, and doesn't even have Infinity Stones. That's the crazy part, because he just laughed.
Yeah, I like to see where they go with that. But then they got the Thunderbolts. My fear is they got huge cast, and I hope you don't get lost.
Well, there's a huge cast because we had the Wakandans. We had the Atlanteans coming back for the first time in forever. Since the only time they've been around. We got the Thunderbolts. We have the Avengers.
Did I say Thunderbolts or cats?
I think you said bolts.
Okay, good.
But now you have me questioning it. Me, go back and look. By the way, me is my editor. I don't know if I told you that. It's now a new identity. Me. Fantastic Four. Whichever X-Men technically make it. Because one thing they've already made clear, not everybody's making it out of this movie alive. Which is what happens in this storyline. The reason it's Doomsday is because he's going around and he's cleaning up the timelines that got all fucked up.
Oh, yeah, you got Bucky's in there and new Captain America, old Captain America.
Well, not old Captain America, young Captain America.
Yeah.
But people are already throwing out theories on that. That's not our Steve Rogers.
Oh, okay.
One, because we saw in the teasers from last year that we got Doom interrupting our Steve that we know in his life with Peggy.
That's why I was looking at the trailer, because Loki's involved, and it seems like Loki was talking to...
Yeah, and Loki was in his TVA uniform and stuff, not God of Time or God of Stories.
No, I think he's controlling the TVA.
Well, he's definitely doing that, but he's took his spot on the throne holding the entire multiverse together.
Right.
So, in theory, Doom would be attacking Loki almost directly.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't see that. We see TVA agent Loki. And apparently he's the only Loki who did that out of the multiverse. So we'll see where that goes. But we also know we're going to be jumping through time. We're jumping through the multiverse. We're jumping through the multiverse of the multiverse, because that's how we get the X-Men. That's how we get Fantastic Four. And somehow they're all going to come together. And I assume that by the end, we will see Battle World laid out for Secret Worlds, which is the giant planet that Doom brought together of the destroyed Earths.
Yeah.
And that's where everybody fought to the death to establish the new universe. So it's not only that they're going to be fighting Doom, they also are going to be fighting each other to the death. And as far as we know, teaser-wise, they already said that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is supposedly in this. In theory, Logan is in this somewhere, which means Hugh Jackman back again. Mm-hmm. But is he old Logan, new Logan, the Wolverine from seemingly the X-Men universe is not even like the old X-Men TV or a movie universe. It's the X-Men 97 cartoon universe, which is cool.
That's my universe.
Which is really cool. So it's actually the X-Men 90s cartoon.
Very excited.
Made live action with the characters that we already had from live action X-Men. So we'll see how well that works out. I think it'll be interesting. I think it's weird that we brought back all the old actors for that, in particular. Because now would be the time to bring in new people. And also very strange because literally next week, Spider-Man drops, introducing a very important character of the X-Men into the main Marvel Universe, Jean Grey.
Slightly powerful.
Yeah.
Slightly.
Yeah. So for those who don't realize, Jean Grey is going to be fighting Spider-Man in this already very crowded Spider-Man movie. So we get Savage Hulk back. We get the Punisher. We get Scorpion in a comic accurate mechanical Scorpion suit to a degree. And then a Spider-Man who is trying to not tell everybody he's Peter Parker. So whatever. So that happens first, which somehow is going to lead into the Doomsday later.
Well, Doomsday will make money.
Should.
It won't be a Snow White. They won't completely fail.
I think the haters are going to be the problem. The people who just cannot forgive Marvel right now.
Well, there's a lot of characters a lot of the critics don't like. They don't like the Thunderbolts. They don't like
Thunderbolts. Awesome.
Female Black Panther.
We could deal with that. Sure.
They don't like the new Captain America.
No, not Bucky. Sam was a bad choice, but that also happened in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
So, all these things technically happened in the comics, but not all of them should have happened in this universe.
Yeah.
Like Shuri, that was stupid. Should have never done it. Should have just recast. I'll say that till Marvel resets it. They should have just recast Chadwick Boseman and made the Black Panther 2 they intended to make, because that fucked up everything.
Great.
Like that, the writer's strike and COVID fucked up the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's why Phase 4 will be unwritten through this. It's like basically Captain Marvel, as far as I know, Captain Marvel's not even involved in this movie. Or if she is, she's probably going to die.
They better not. Yeah, they better kill her first scene if they put her in there.
Well, here's my issue. I didn't have a problem with the Captain Marvel character. I actually didn't have a problem with the Captain Marvel movie. I thought it was actually kind of fun. And the digital de-aging of Samuel L. Jackson for the whole damn movie was actually done really well. The Marvels was weird.
Mm-hmm.
However, if we are going into that universe, then we can get what's-her-face back. I think Pulsar, I think was her name. Because she, at the end of the Marvels, got pushed into the X-Men universe.
Right.
So, in theory, she can come back that way. She might die immediately, but we'll see what happens. But I didn't have a problem with that. The Marvels was interesting. It was just very poorly written, and now we know that the director didn't give a fuck about it. Had never done a major motion picture, any of this stuff, and then bailed like 2 months into production. So that movie was fucked no matter what was going to happen to it, because nobody gave a shit about it. Did what's-her-face run her mouth the first time she did? Yes. Has she spent like the last 8 years just trying to be a good person on the internet to make up for it? Absolutely. She's such a sweetheart. If you haven't watched any of her stuff, she's just a sweetheart. She's a good actress. To her own credit, she's a good actress. She was just given bad stuff to do. And also, we didn't know the Captain Marvel character at all when she first came into the Avengers because her solo movie didn't exist yet. And then we got Endgame, where everybody complains that she comes in and then, oh, yeah, she's a match for Thanos. I was like, do you not understand how her powers work?
Well, that's a problem. They didn't explain it.
Yeah, they didn't explain it.
So people that don't, follow the comics or understand who she is would be like, oh, great, it's threw a girl boss in here.
Yeah.
Just to win and leave.
Now, the very cringy girls get it done scene, that was bad. That's why the boys had to make fun of that later. But her standing up to Thanos while holding on to the Infinity Gauntlet full of fucking Infinity Gems makes sense. No problem when Captain America literally holds it back in Infinity War, but it's a fucking problem when the Tesseract-powered woman who absorbs energy is holding on to the fucking Infinity Gauntlet. That's a problem. It's like, notice how Thanos rips out the Power Stone and blasts her with a fucking energy blast to get her to go away. But as soon as he took the Power Stone out, she stopped being strong enough. Weird how that fucking happened. It's almost like she was absorbing the powers of the fucking Power Stone, which Thanos was using at the time. Stupid fucks. Either way. It's like, I hate having to apologize for that because people weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
It's like, notice he headbutts her first, gives her a black eye, and then he headbutts her again, and then she stares him down because she's been absorbing the fucking power while holding on to it. The bitch who just meteored through his fucking giant spaceship and took it the fuck out single-handedly. Like, oh yeah, she can't stand up to Thanos. I don't know what movie you were watching, but I just watched her destroy a spaceship for fun. It's like, either way. But I don't want to see her wiped out because people are stupid. I would just like better things happen with the character. We're going back to the remove a sequel.
Oh, yeah, I don't think they're going to put her in this.
I think she'll be in it, but like off to the side.
Yeah.
I mean, Shang-Chi's finally coming back.
Oh, I forgot he's in there.
Yeah, Shang-Chi. By the way, Shang-Chi fighting Gambit from Deadpool, which means the Deadpool 3 is canon to this because that is that Gambit or Gambit. But that means, oh, actually, it might not be that Gambit because it's the Gambit that comes from the X-Men universe. So that it can't be X-Men 97 if he's alive.
Yeah.
So this would have to be a Gambit from the Marvel universe.
Right.
Yeah. So that had to be the Channing Tatum Gambit who never got a chance to do anything in his universe. Also one of the best ways to write that character into that movie because he was supposed to get a movie that never happened. So therefore his universe got wiped out in canon. It's like, that's so fucking smart. It's like the guys who wrote Loki and the guys who wrote Deadpool 3 so fucking smart. If you haven't watched Loki and Loki season 2, phenomenal.
Loki is awesome.
One of the best things Marvel has ever done, and the best season of Doctor Who that wasn't Doctor Who. Just like the Orville is the best seasons of Star Trek that wasn't Star Trek.
I want to put my faith in that Marvel knows this is pretty much their last chance. If they fail this, it's pretty much over.
Yeah. What I would like to see is a random Moon Knight cameo. Just throw Moon Knight out there just for the fuck of it. It's like we've done all this work to get the Defenders back up and running again. It's like we're gonna see all our very, very powerful Avengers and stuff like that dealing with things on Battleworld, but everybody got pulled in. All the universes got smashed and destroyed.
Well, except for the most important one.
What?
Which I was ticked off.
What?
The Offenders was not invited
to
this battle.
First of all, we don't even have a movie yet. We don't even have an official comic book yet because I haven't written it. But
I thought not even in the end trailer. Like the third, fourth end trailer, when they were doing like, here's all the Chinese dubs.
Oh,
they couldn't even throw us in there there.
I mean, if we had characters, that'd be funny. Yeah, we'll do our own Offenders edit. Yeah. See, the problem is we don't have bad guys to fight. We have all these superpowered idiots. We don't technically have bad guys to fight. That part hasn't been invented yet. So maybe we
have no villains. You're right.
We don't have villains yet. We just have we have this vague notion of bad guys. Or we are the bad guys because we do bad things by accident because of our powers.
I think we'd be too lazy to fight bad guys. That'd be work.
I mean, your powers are only so useful. Yeah. I mean, you're part of the espionage team, so you serve a purpose. But
I have nothing to espionage.
I
have nothing to espionage.
Well, I mean, it depends. Well, what I always thought was funny is that if we put you on a team with Rodney to go, you go into the base disguised as a woman. Rodney, using his zoom in and X-ray vision, would still see your penis. See, I am the keeper of all things offenders, so I know how these stories go. So, like, we're gonna have to sit down and do like a not full on D&D campaign where we get like a lot of the offenders together, and we just fucking, we just all get together. We have our character sheets, and we just do a stupid fucking story with our characters. Yes. Like, not full D&D style. Like, we just come up with a fucking storyline, not rolling dice and all this other shit. Just a very simple version of it. I think it'd be fun. Like, I can write out the original prose for the story, and like, this is how we're starting, and this is the backstory for all the characters. Or if everybody wants to do a little bit of like how you got your powers and shit like that, maybe it's like the Flash, where everybody's like, they were normal people, the explosion goes off, and then everybody gets metahuman powers. Might be something like that. You know, we're on the same flight, and we flew over CERN whenever the collider went wonky, and we all got dumbass superpowers from that. And we're like, maybe something. It's like, but not everybody's superpowers are good. So, I mean, like, Larson technically doesn't have superpowers.
Yeah.
He's just rich.
Just rich.
Yeah, he's just rich. Like, so he was born with that, so he doesn't have superpowers. He just needed a super team to build shit for. We're trying to keep him normal. We have to keep him away from you. Because his proclivities, you fitted Bill.
Yep.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah, your powers are funny though. No, so here's the thing: I haven't gotten to the latest the offenders section where we got Tim and John and Jessica. So I don't remember. I know Tim had like Magneto kind of powers, but I don't remember any of it. I know what Jessica wanted to do, and I know that Chelsea stomped all over it. So we're gonna redo Jessica's induction.
Okay.
I do not remember John's at all. Like, at all. So I got to get through the next section before. I do not remember what he said he wanted his superpowers to be at all.
We talked about it for a while. I don't remember that.
Yeah, the defender section was probably about 35 minutes, if I had to guess. Which I know it's in there, but I got to look for the footage. It should be up after this next section I'm about to edit, because that's when we did it, after the first trivia. But yeah, for the life of me, I can't remember what his powers were at all. I think Tim was like some form of Magneto thing, or
because he wanted to build metal
or influencing somebody. I don't remember. I know Jessica wanted to be able to read minds or something like that, but then we came up with the stupid concept that she like can read people's minds, but like they can read her minds back if they're gay or something like that. It didn't work out very well. Like, it was one of the only ones where I'm like, that was not the forum for that. Not for all three of us anyway. So I'll do an offenders episode with just Jessica where I can come up with something better. She can say the same thing, like the same power she wants, and we'll just reset.
Yep.
Also, if anybody out there, if you're listening and you are any offenders, of course, you're always offered to do a full reset, but that means new powers and you roll the dice again, or for the first time ever. So I don't even know if Captain Sweatpants is even still around, like, as a listener. Like, he's the first person in the Thundercuts, so it is what it is. We need to get more people into the Thundercuts. He's just there by himself in Thundercut Tower. Thundercut Garage. That's what it is. All right, well, it's getting late, and I need to get you out of here.
Yeah.
There was one other story, one quick story that came down. Big thing from last weekend, I believe it was. The sad story that Christina Pazsitzky and Tom Segura are separated. And are divorcing after 20 some odd years, I think, almost.
Oh, that's too bad.
Or like 14 years. They've been together a while. I think it's because Tom lost weight and young chicks are starting to look at him again. Or he did a whole lot of cross-dressing and dirty or in bad thoughts, and he just decided he's a woman now. I'm not sure. But they said, like, they're not changing anything with, like, YMH, like their podcast and their entire company. So they're still, like... The part is, like, everybody now knows that they're separated, and they haven't been on one show together yet in the last month.
Oh.
But I was just scheduling. These are recorded a month in advance. Like they book all these people together. So the story that comes out that they're divorcing and now they're never together. It's like, yeah, no, he was filming stuff, and then when I'm gone, I'm off doing stuff or being a mom or whatever. So they got two still kind of young kids, like preteen kids. But I guess it's amicable. It just sucks that she's like she just turned 50.
Yeah.
And that's a year after her breast cancer and everything else like that. So maybe that's why. Maybe it's just like, yeah, she took down the giant warlocks, and it is what it is.
It's a shame though, because all their comedy was together. Like, talk about each other, and
I mean, like they were already friends before. Well, actually, he was supposed to be a one-night stand, and then it didn't work out. It's the longest one-night stand I think in history. Because he was supposed to be like a rebound one-night stand over the boyfriend she was dating at the time, and then she just stayed with him for 17 years or however long it's been. And then with everything they went through to have pregnancy after 40, and then now they got two young kids, and this several $1 million empire in Austin, Texas. But it could just be that basically like it makes no sense to stay married right now due to everything else that's going on. So maybe now at this point it's just business friendship. Yeah, who knows? Sad news, but guys, Christina's looking really good now. If you want to go, just take a run,
Austin area, and you have a lot of money.
Yeah, take a run at her. Actually, she's used to being poor, so it is what it is. She's come from the Hungarian roots.
Yes.
Yeah. So get out there, guys.
She's a person of color like us.
The main, it's a person of color just like us. The main mommy, she's out there.
Yeah, give her a call. She probably won't come on this podcast.
Shit. Can you imagine? Like, hey, Christina, would you like to come on our podcast where we talk about being people of color?
Don't worry about all the toys in the background. We're normal.
Yeah, don't bring their kids over here. They're fucking nightmares. Either way, guys. So make sure you do that like and subscribe thing. And I know it's a weird thing, but hey, if you've suffered some kind of loss, especially if you lost your dad, let us know how you got through it. Send a message, email, whatever, comment section. By all means, interact with the comments. That's why they're there. And I will reply to you because I'm just like that. Somebody says something stupid, I'm going to reply back to them. Or if you're Tyler, I'll probably read it. And of course, if you want the uncut version, go over to the Patreon. If you want to buy any merch, please come buy some merch. I'm probably going to have to open up a store to sell the excess episode 200 merch. So if you want the glass, the coins, t-shirts, any of that stuff, by all means, either that or I'm going to like put it on the breweries and be like, sell this, please. It's got your logos on it. Please sell.
Please buy it before episode 300.
If I still have 200 merch at episode 300, I'm going to be pissed. Because even before then, we got 250 or whatever I'm going to do for that. Because we do every 50, not every 100.
We'll keep wearing the shirts.
Just scratch it out, put a bigger 3, print right over the 2, make it a 3. Either way, well, there'll be different breweries then, so who knows? Got to do a third brewery for episode 300.
Yep.
We're not even there yet. So either way, guys, yes, episode 200 will be coming out here in, let's see, what did I say this was, 198? 2 weeks for you people, somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do that for me. In theory, I'm recording another podcast with Tim this week so I can just get it all done and I can just focus for 3 weeks. In theory, that's what's going to happen. Behind the scenes chaos. Because, guys, editing a 5.5-hour live recorded show with cameras going wonky, recordings being weird, external sound, the pure and utter chaos as people get more drunk later in the evening. I'm going to have to cut the peanut cam like entirely once Chelsea sits there. Like, cause it's just going to be a shit show. I already know it's going to be a shit show. I've already had to cut stuff in between because there's so many private conversations. I'm like, nope. It's like, even for the uncut, I can't put this in here. I was like, this is stuff I didn't even know was being discussed. I'm just erasing it before I hear any more. It's like, just because everybody's standing near the cameras, they forget they're being recorded.
Oh.
Yeah. So entire conversations are happening around the cameras. And I'm like, nope. I'm removing that for privacy's sake.
Oh, gosh. I should have talked to Tim about.
Well, you were hanging out with Jefe and Steve.
Yeah.
You disappeared for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Checking out the.
I got to see the bus.
It's not that impressive. It's just there.
It's impressive that he did it.
Still could have bought an RV. It would have made
so much more fucking sense.
So much easier. So much more fucking sense to just buy an RV. less expensive at this point. Either way, guys. So go check out C4 Graphics and give Chad a little bit of support over there. He will get back to printing stuff, I guess, sometime soon. I hope he's got the printer thing sorted. I really do. That is catastrophic failure when your main piece of equipment.
Oh, it failed.
Yeah, his printer exploded last week.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, terrible. Yeah. Literally came back from vacation Monday morning. Printer takes a shit, and it's not exactly a cheap fix either.
No.
Yeah, and he was in the middle of a huge job. So that sucks. And then go check out and he's not posting anything ever, but go find Grounded and Grumpy on the Instagrams. You can follow me at _Shoki. Other Kevin has not created the Other Kevin account yet, but whatever.
I'll work out.
But if you want to see him and I switch places forcibly, which it's hard rewatching all that footage on episode 200. So just appreciate the amount of effort it took for episode 200 to come together when the 21 of you watch it later. And at some point, James is going to come back and give us an update on the flock camera situation, especially after the Texas AG said, hey, you got to show him the contract. Dum-dums. But anyway, we'll see you guys next time. And with that, okay, bye. So that's how I know you're a listener. You actually follow right at the end. Everybody else is like, what? Mm-hmm. Huh? Tim wants to be a semi-permanent member.
I see her rolling up over black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats.